shaving. Good morning. What's up, Rob? What's up, Marie? Check, check. All right, we're about to go. Ooh. Oops. She's dropping the lights here. All right, guys.
Wait.
Let's see.
Let me get this set up. Good morning, people.
Good morning, Daniqua.
We're getting set up.
We are.
Uno momento.
All right. Letting the feed catch up here for a minute. Let's go.
If you're joining us right now, you should share this out with peeps whilst we set up.
Yeah.
Unless you want your friends to have terrible relationships. That's fine. You do you.
That's a good point. Hit share. Send it to your friends, your fronds. All right.
With fronds like this, who needs an enemies? Check, check. Okay. I hate that sound so much.
You hate a lot of things.
That's mean. You do one sound with your nose that's weird. Sounds like nasopharynx.
Right. What's...
Check. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
What were you asking me?
Nothing.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Recording?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. My name is Melanie Studley.
Hello, my name is Seth Studley. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and welcome again to AOM Radio, where we take your questions and we interact with you guys. We are on Instagram Live and Facebook Live, and on Instagram, if you would like to join our call, if you have a question that is relevant to the topic we're speaking of, we will add you, and we will see your beautiful face, and you'll get to talk to us, and we'll get to talk to you. So remember that.
Yes, if you're new here, welcome. We have shows all about relationships and marriage and real help for real couples because that is lacking in the marriage space.
That's true.
So yes, and every AOM radio day, we do 4 things. We do prayer, gratitude for our spouse, and intentions for our spouse and our day, and then our Get Your Marriage On questions of the day.
Yeah.
So do you want to start with prayer?
I will. Thank you, God. Thank you, Creator, for your blessings. Thank you for this day. I pray that you give me patience and kindness and wisdom and insight, God. I pray that for our listeners, help us all to have better relationships and a heart to improve those relationships and a belief that we can do it if we put our mind to it. Thank you, God. Amen.
Amen.
All right. I am thankful that...
Hello.
Oh, what's up, Steven? What's up, Juan? What's up, Rochelle? I am thankful that you are focus-minded. You do a lot of work in the morning for prep work for the AOM radio, and you want to do a good job on that, and that is a big piece of our success. We each do our certain things, we have our certain gifts in that, and that makes it work, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. My gratitude for today is that I'm thankful that you're basically up for anything. Like if I said, let's build a kayak, you'd be like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I love that spirit of like, well, I'll try. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really fun, and it's brought a lot of fun memories and will bring a lot of future fun things to do. So Thank you for being just basically up for anything. And I want to remind you guys, do this with your spouse. Don't just watch us do this. Talk to your spouse about what you're thankful for about them. It's very helpful.
We're a ride or die, right?
That's right. I don't know what that's from, so is it like a thing, like a song? Like a weird 80s song that I was too young to hear?
No, it's not 80s.
What are your intentions for today?
Oh, my intentions are to get to be intentional to talk to you. Yesterday I was kind of irritated at a couple of things, and I know from a number 9 Enneagram that the more that I do not talk about things, the worse things get, and the less intentional and quality of relationships I'll have. So I don't want to... I'm in a weird kind of funk, and I'm going to get out of it.
All right. Sounds great.
With you.
I can't wait. My intention for today for us and our marriage is to be less critical. Sorry, I wrote criticism. To be less critical. And part of that comes from, I'm currently reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, which was written in 1936. And it is the weirdest book because I always thought it was like entrepreneurial, like I don't even know what I thought it was about, but I was like, I have no reason to read that. It has parenting stuff in it that is so helpful. So that is it's in that book, the concept of criticism, and it's hard to explain it, but I would highly recommend if you deal with criticism, which probably you do. I mean, everybody
does.
I would highly recommend getting How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can get it for free if you go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage and listen to it on us. It's really cool.
It's really good, and we're not just pushing it. It's a book that I've heard about for a long time, and I finally read it, and I've literally binge listened like 3 hours at a time, and I absolutely plan to read it again. Books that I really love, I literally read
more than once,
like 3 or 4 times, and this will be one of those books for sure.
Yeah, it is really, really good. And so that is my intention for today, is to be less critical with you and the kids, and to see criticism in a new light, because it's what I know in my family of origins. It's very hard.
Honestly, I'm really excited for you to read this book. I really am. I really, really am, because I told you I thought this is going to be a game changer for a lot of things. Our relationship, our stuff we do with an AOM, all kinds of stuff. So yes,
I agree. So our topic for today is keeping house, and it's all about cleaning and all of that jazz. And I wanted to, so this question comes from our app. Y'all, we have an app. And this question was in the question and answer section, and here it is. So it says, cleaning house, splitting up responsibilities. I am not the greatest housekeeper, but I'm working on it. Both my husband and I would like to keep the house clean, but we both alternate feeling like we're the only one doing everything while the other one is doing nothing. I feel like creating individual responsibilities and splitting up the housework would help. How do you split up housework and make individual responsibilities? This is an amazing question. Oh, someone says, what is the name of the book? It is called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yes.
Written in 1936.
So go get it on audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. It's free. Okay, so let's answer this question.
Yeah, so we want to talk about chores, splitting up housework, and all of that stuff. You have to take it for 1 second while I get my photos. I forgot to grab.
Oh, okay.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So, all right, let's divvy it up. So this question, it sounds like that there might be some conflict with, what is your role as a husband? What is your role as a wife? Maybe it's falling into the traditional roles. And sure, those work for some people, right? But sometimes traditions don't need to be the traditions anymore. And that really is a thing with our family. At first, it was like, yeah, Melody does this, Seth does this. And that just wasn't working. And it took us about a year or two. Well, probably, I don't know.
Well, I'd say more
years than that to figure that out. So we were able to parse out, hey, what am I better at than Melanie? What am I literally better at than Melanie? And it doesn't matter if those are traditional or non-traditional roles. And then the same thing, what is Melanie better at than me? And organization and delegation, Melanie is really good at.
Yeah, so here in my my notes here, the things that I wrote out, which I think are really helpful, is the very first thing you've got to do is figure out, which I wish someone had told us this. This would have been like a game changer, lifesaver for us.
I'm excited. What is it?
Seriously, just write out what you need to do on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly, and annual basis. I divide it up that way because annually, or probably every 6 months, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, y'all are cleaning your gutters, right? That's a thing you've got to do all the time.
Cedar boughs, moss.
Worms, bugs, like we had colonies of weird water bugs in our gutters. In the Pacific Northwest, there's all sorts of crazy things going on. So, write these things down. So what do you have to do every single day? I know this sounds stupid. Don't get mad at me. You got to do your dishes every day. Some people do laundry every day. If you're doing laundry every day, you have too many clothes. Yeah. Or you have infants. So list out the things that you do every day. You have to start with all of this stuff that has to happen in order to know how to delegate it.
So the daily essentials, right?
And we
clean the bathroom, pick up the dirty towels, do the dishes, wipe the counters off.
Yep, everything, sweeping, whatever, vacuuming.
For us, make the bed.
Yep.
Make your bed in the morning, the day is better.
And then the weekly stuffs, like maybe if in the summertime you've got to mow the grass every week. Or there are things change through the seasons of things.
Trash day's Wednesday.
You need to have these things written down first. The second point that I would say is you need to assess your weak points. Where are you stumbling every single time, right? Where is it like, oh, you never do the laundry. The laundry sits unfolded on the couch for 1,000 days. Assess your weak points and make a list of them. This will help you understand what you need to do to make it better and who might be able to take over for that thing, right? And then go into your lists of the things that need to be done and the things that you're struggling with and divide them up among each other. So again, that goes to Seth's point in saying sometimes someone is better at something than someone else. Now,
and it's not like I take the trash out better than Melanie. It's I can cook better.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the thing. And Melanie can. What can you do better?
Clean, organize
stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so think of it in those terms, and then also not who just does it better, because it's going to fall on the person who does it most. They're going to know how to do it better because they do it more. But that does not mean that it stays that way. If that makes sense. But it also has to fall on who has the ability to do it. If I am asking Seth to do more than he can, like, he's not home as much as I am because he works out of the home. So I have more time in a day to do more chores. But if I'm saying, well, I'm going to divide it equally, you live here too, then you're going to have too many chores that you cannot even do.
Right. So
and then it's going to cause conflict.
What does the balanced approach look like? And then also the simple notion, the absolutely simplest notion in the world. If you see it and you have the ability to do it, do it. Oh, there's crap on the floor just right there. Just take literally 2 seconds and clean it up, right? Oh, that's Melanie's job. I'm not doing that. Well, don't be a jerk about it and don't be weird about it. Steven says, did it this weekend. Cut the grass and you make some amazing biscuits. Yes.
Hey. And so I want you to think about that. But the other issue too is sometimes it's just a scheduling issue. And if Seth is getting home at 6 o'clock at night, he only has so many hours in a day to be with us and to whatever. So you just think of those things, if that makes sense. The other thing is, and here is my favorite part. I read the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and he talks about decentralized command, which how on earth I went from Army, Navy SEAL, decentralized command to photos of clean bedrooms, I do not know. But the whole time I read that book, all I could think of was the house.
Good.
So here is what I did. My children when I say go clean your room, they're like, I don't know how. Ooh. And they act like they've never had to clean a room.
A wet noodle on the floor.
Seriously, it's like they have no clue what I mean. And I understand it. It is overwhelming. So this is what I did. I took photos of our house, every room, and look at our dog is in them. See him? Doug. So I took photos of the standards to which a clean room is. That's the laundry room. There's Doug. And I said, and I have these pictures just sitting out in a little spot. I go, get your photos, hand them out, and start cleaning.
So you know what those are? Those are visual SOPs.
Yep, standard operating procedures.
Yep. And it's perfect. Kids are visual. Most of us are visual. And we don't have to think about it. Oh, read bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just look at the picture. It's like a matching game. Hey, does this corner currently, right now, in real life, match what the picture looks like?
And like there's the kitchen. The kids literally hand these out to each other. It's almost like they take pride in which kid gets to hand them out. And I'll say, okay, Mariner, go grab the pictures, hand them out. And they each get their photo and they set it down and they begin to clean. Before we did it, they were like, I was constantly having to follow them around, almost do everything for them and be like, it goes here. Don't you remember? We've done it every day. And it's not helpful. You can do this, and trust me, like, this is helpful to Seth. He might not say that, but he'd be like, oh, that's what she wants the kitchen to look like.
Right.
Because our standards are different. And when we can have a joint standard where we go, yeah, that is what clean looks like, right? That's
for
what
both
clean
of us. That's
for
what
both
we
of us.
Both prefer.
Yes, that's how we both want the house to be. So that is decentralized command. I highly recommend doing it. It was really fun because I got my dog to pose in every picture. My dog, not yours or ours.
You did get him.
It was really cute. The kids love it that the dog is in all of the pictures, which is funny.
Okay, so keeping house. Work out your own, what's up, T? Work out your own system. This system may not work for us. And guess what? When Melanie just hands the cards to the kids, is it perfect? No. They're still melting down and all this stuff. But it's a very concrete start to something that is, we're making it easy, right? We are simplifying it. Also, Jocko talks about plans, battle plans, whatever kind of plans. It has to be simple. It has to be understandable. Complexity kills.
Yeah, and he talks about a lot, like going over after you've done a mission, you go back and review what was wrong about it. Went wrong.
After action review.
And so that's a thing that you can do. Like, it's hard to start a new routine, so have grace. That's actually one of the things on my list. Have grace as you create new routines because our brains are wired to do the same thing they've always done, which is super helpful. So have grace while you do that, but review it regularly. Be like, you know what? It is too hard for our 3-year-old to put the whatevers away. Like, we have to change that up a bit.
Right.
But the other great thing about this is it helps kids understand expectations, how to be kind of self-motivated, self-directed with guidance.
And they get a feeling of, well, even I get a feeling of, oh, okay, that kitchen looks good. It's done.
Yeah, yes, it's like feeling good about it. The other thing I would say is set cleaning alarms. So once you've assessed where your problems are, assessed what you need to do, assessed who does what the standard is, set alarms in your phone. And this is something that is really, I was saying it to you the other day, that when the dishes are not done when you get home from work, and that's my responsibility because I'm the one at home with the kids, when the sink is full of dirty dishes, when he comes home from work and then he's going to get ready to make dinner, it's so irritating. Like, and it's irritating because he is not able to cook, he's not able to cut stuff up, he's not able to prepare stuff.
It slows down the process.
It slows everything down and it makes a big fat mess. And so I have to set alarms to clean the dishes by, 3:30 to load the dishwasher so that it's clean and ready and calm when he gets home. So that's an easy way. Set an alarm. We do that for nighttime too. Like tidy up your rooms at 7:45 before family jammy time at 8. Right? That's an easy thing to do.
All right.
If you have questions, pop them into the feed. But we do have another question.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do have a question and you're brave enough, which you guys are brave, you have a growth mindset. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening. Pop on over to Instagram and request to be in the feed, and we will answer your question live, which is pretty fun. Okay, so we have a follow-up question from an episode a couple of days ago called Verbal Abuse.
Name
calling and verbal abuse. And we got another we got another question from
about
that.
it.
Do you want to read it? And I have some
sure.
some good thoughts on it.
It says, I just listened to you guys talking about verbal abuse. I have a question. My husband accuses me of being verbally abusive or attacking him. I never call him names, but I do tell him he is acting immature or selfish. He calls that name calling. I tell him I'm labeling or describing his behavior. What are your thoughts on that? And what would you call verbal abuse? There are absolutely times when my tone is bad. There are also times when it isn't. I rarely raise my voice and I am not a name caller, so it bothers me when he says I call him names. Just curious if I'm way off track here. I feel like I can't say anything negative to him without it being labeled as an attack. Thank you both for all of your work.
Okay, so
See you later, Steven.
all right, have a good day, buddy. Yes, I think that okay, I don't want to sound harsh here, but I believe that this is something for this couple, obviously, and you may be way off track here, because I can say from experience that Melanie has, in the past, has thought that she's been doing the right thing, like, this is logic, this is very...
Had the same exact attitude.
And you were way off track.
Yes.
From your family of origin, and this is legit, you literally had no idea that you were coming off this way, that you were coming off critical, that you were coming off sarcastic, and even to this day, which we're both growing on, you use words, can you just do something? And when we say, can you just, it is literally implying you don't do other things. Can't you just do this one thing? And it's
implying deficit.
It is implying deficit. Can we just leave? Well, I'm just trying to be logical. Can we just leave right now? What's that saying is, I'm annoyed at you because you're taking a long time. You're not doing this, and I want to go. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think we had a very brief conversation about this yesterday. It's almost like using never and always. Those aren't true statements. And can you just love me? Because you haven't been. Can you just talk to me kindly? Because you haven't been. Why can't you just XYZ? And you talk to the kids that way a lot, and now the kids are talking to us that way, and it burns my brain out, and I don't like it because it's not a good form of communication. So, lovingly, I'm saying, you know what? You actually may be off track here. So, as a husband's perspective, I like to hear, and this isn't just, oh, I'm a mama's boy or whatever. I like to hear, okay, so remember, and you may not be in the book this far yet, but remember I told you a saying that we say in the South, you catch more flies with honey, right? They talk about that in this book later. I don't know what chapter I'm in. But if you really think about it, if we want to get what we actually want, which for most people It's to receive and give kindness, to receive respect and give respect, and to be cordial, mostly, unless you're a weirdo and you're just like antagonistic. It is better and wiser and smarter to lead with kindness. Lead with, hey, you're doing great. You know, just like the tenets of the AOM sandwich method. Say something nice, say something you would like to see improve on, and then go, and then add another nice thing, again, right? Yeah. And that, I think, is such a good policy. And you may not be doing that, listener. You may not be posing questions, even though you're not calling names. If you're highlighting something like
immaturity or selfishness.
Yeah, if you're stating, hey, you are acting immature, and in your mind, maybe he was being immature. Probably so. I'm definitely guilty of that. But labeling it sounds, well, wait a minute. This happened with our kid yesterday. I was wrong and said, I don't remember what I said, but I was like, this is factual. You're not doing this. And he was like, you don't have to be rude about it. Why are you saying that? I was like, I was thinking like this woman may be thinking, I'm just being factual, but I could have said it a million times better, and guess what? I would have gotten what I wanted, which was cooperation and also a good relationship with my kid, and he would have gotten a dad that was understanding and kind to him.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the things that there's a few key things that stand out to me in this question, and from my perspective of having lived this way forever, is that in my family of origin, so I just finished reading the book, The Family Ties That Bind. Read this book. If this is you who asked this question, go get The Family Ties That Bind. It is not very long. It is very easy to read, and it's all about...
Audible either.
It's not an Audible. I looked it up the other day. But it is so insightful because this pattern of being, well, I'm telling you, I'm not calling you a name, but you are selfish. That is from your family of origin. You learned that somewhere. You think it's okay because it's from your family of origin. In dealing with anyone other than your spouse, you would probably never, ever do that. You would never be like to your boss, yes, I understand you want me to finish that report, but how selfish of you. Like, I'm just pointing out the facts. Like, you would never do that. And that is how, in our family of origin, I love my family, I adore my family, but we are the least kind, outrightly kind to the people we love the most, and we're the most outrightly kind to the people who matter the least to us. Right? Strangers, super kind. We'll say hello. We'll be like, woohoo, it's so great to see you. With our friends, with our siblings or spouses, we're like, And that's just what I know. It's what I know.
And I think that comes from a fear of intimacy.
Yes, it does. And that's what's in the book, The Family Ties That Bind. There is a fear of intimacy. There's a fear of being openly known. And so that's the first part, is you have to understand that this, like, I wouldn't say you're being verbally abusive. Abuse is different than, this is kind of just being unaware. This is being unaware, and it's not helpful. How about that? So that's the first part of it. The second part is...
Maybe you're being verbally annoying.
I don't know.
That was just I'm not calling you annoying, but it was just kind of funny.
The second part of it is, would you be okay if your husband said to you what you're saying to him? That was one of the most... I think it was Sexy Marriage Radio, Dr. Corey Allen said, would you want to be married to yourself? And I was like, oh! Like, would you want to be married to yourself when you are telling your husband, I'm just saying you're being immature, that's all. Would you want your husband to say that to you? How would you react if someone was like, what? It's a fact. You are selfish.
Right.
You'd be like, see you later.
You would be defensive, and you would want to push back against that because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, yes. And that's another thing too, is that in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, so much of it is about getting what you want by giving someone what they want, which sounds really like skeezy. Yeah, I don't know what word I'm trying to say. It sounds weird, it sounds manipulative, but we are manipulating people all the time. That's that's what humans and everyone does. But it is the best form of I'm actually giving you what you want when I can speak to you kindly about the dishes. And I'm getting what I want because now the dishes are going to get done. Right? And so it's a serendipitous exchange.
Right. So you're speaking, an example, speaking to you or the kids, I'm speaking to you in a kind manner and a loving manner and a wise manner because I want you to speak to me in a kind manner. I want you to build me up, so I build you up. Right? And it is a hard, idea. It's like, oh, well, I'm just manipulating her and saying these funky words just so she'll treat me good. But no, it's for the overall good.
Mm-hmm.
I speak to my children in a good way, in a positive way that builds them up.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? They're going to speak to each other in a good way, in a positive way that well, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to speak to me the same way. So we're all getting something good and something positive.
Yeah, and I do want to say, so this very morning, I do my sort of Miracle Morning stuff now. I've changed up my journaling routine.
Tell people what Miracle Morning is real quick.
So Miracle Morning is a book by Hal Elrod, and it's all about you wake up, you do your savers, which is your, what's the first S?
I don't know.
Silence. Then you do affirmations, then you do visualizations, you do exercising, reading, and scribbling, which is writing. So scribbling was the one I saw. Scribing. I probably is scribing. I can never read. So one of the things that they do is visualization and affirmations. So in the visualization / affirmation part, it literally has you write out or journal out or think out how you want to become as if it is already. So the Bible has things like this. There's many things that have stuff like this. I would highly recommend this. So I, this morning, was like, I speak positively to my children. Do I always speak positively to my children? No, I don't. But I am putting it out into the universe because that is what I'm striving to do. So I'm going to speak to myself as if it already is. So I am very positive. I do not criticize. I lead with love. I am kind. I am generous. I do not raise my voice. So do I do those things right now? Yes. I do not want to do those things. And so I am visualizing and affirming what is good about me right now, how I can do these things differently moving forward. And I really am charging you guys to do the same thing. If you struggle with stuff like this, like being critical, being conflict driven, not understanding things from someone else's point of view, I highly recommend read Hal Elrod's book, Miracle Morning. That is on Audible. You can get that at audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. Was there anything else that you wanted to say on that?
No, I think we covered it both. Thank you guys for joining us here. We're doing this obviously every morning around 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, and now we're recording it as well. So this is an everyday podcast.
AOM Radio.
That's right.
Oh, we should make a jingle.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
We have the kids sing.
Yeah. So you guys go check that out. Also, thank you. Remember to send in your questions at hello@anatomyofmarriage.com, where we will answer them on the air. And remember, if you feel it, if you're feeling funky, if you're feeling saucy and brave, join us on Instagram Live.
Funky.
Yeah. And today we're going to have Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, on Instagram Live. Again, we meet with him every Tuesday to talk about what's going on. He's a psychologist. He's a doctor. All this great stuff. He's really cool. So go follow him as well. So check that out. That will be at
in 1 hour.
9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock PST in 1 hour. So catch us then. Send in your questions. We love you guys. Anything else?
Yes. If you appreciate what we're doing and it's valuable to you, do us a favor, please, and rate and review our podcast. This helps us in so many ways I cannot tell you. So if you really appreciate our work and you want to see it continue, go rate and review the show. And that's all that I have to say.
All right.
We'll see y'all at 9 with Dr. John Deloney.
That's right. Rob, thank you, buddy.
No baloney Deloney. I can
That's
call him
right.
that here because he's not watching. It's my favorite
He
thing to call
probably
him
is.
at home.
All right. See you guys later.
See you later. Bye.